I've been in the life, I've been out of the life, but I still love the life all the way.
This just in, the body of a transgender woman has been found in the alley on Orange Blossom Trail in Church Street.
Lord God, no, no! People with mental illness, various racial and ethnic groups, and gay and lesbian individuals. Gay individuals' civil rights versus civil rights, and same-gender marriages.
Listen, I know that he is not gay friendly. He's gonna lose it.
Hello, welcome to Affirming Love Podcast, where we are acknowledging, announcing, confirming, encouraging, and upholding love for LGBTQ plus individuals and allies. I am your host, Laverne Simpson, advocate, leader, and member of the LGBTQ plus community, CEO of Creative and Spiritual Resolutions, where I'm a spirit guide and spirit healer, writer, director, and producer of Love Simpson Creations, theatrical productions, as well as founder, former leader, and wedding officiant of Affirming Love Ministries, a radically inclusive ministry for LGBTQ plus individuals and allies. Each week on Affirming Love Podcast, we will be breaking down real conversations about beliefs, relationships, entrepreneurship, leadership, personal development, and growth. Welcome to Affirming Love Podcast. Hello, and welcome to Affirming Love Podcast, where we are acknowledging, announcing, confirming, encouraging, and upholding love for LGBTQ plus individuals and allies. I am your host, Laverne Simpson, and today we are acknowledging a young lady who is an actress, mom, daughter, hard worker, who has been in the life before and is just here as an ally today to talk to us about what it's like being an ally and being a child of a LGBTQ plus individual. Y'all help me to acknowledge today Miss Jourdin Beautii Dudley. Hey, Jourdin.
Hi.
Girl, announce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your story.
My name is Beautii. I'm 32 years old. I have children. I've been in the life, I've been out of the life, but I still love the life all the way. There's so much to say about me, you know? I'm here, I'm there, I'm an ally, I'm in the LGBTQ community, I'm some everything.
So if you had to identify, if you're comfortable with sharing, how would you identify?
I would identify as bisexual.
Okay. All right. And what does that identity mean to you?
To me, it means that I mess with women and men. I like men more, but I do mess with women. The right woman to come around. Hey, girl.
So when you started dating women, what was going through your mind at that time?
At the time, it was like love is love, you know, and you can't stop love from being what it is.
Okay. So how old were you when you first dated a young lady?
When I first dated a female, I was 15.
15? And do you feel like you dated a female because you were influenced by your parent, or you just felt it was comfortable being that you had an LGBTQ plus parent? It was easier for you to experience it. Or do you feel like your parents' life had to do with why you did it?
Well, I don't think that my parents' life had a reason as to why I did it, but I believe that because I had a parent in the LGBT community, it was
Mm-hmm.
easier for me to understand the love of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to love the same gender because you have that parent and you understand what they're going through and how they feel, and so it was more so easier to me because my parent was just, loving to man or woman. It was
Mm-hmm.
easier for me to open up my heart and say, hey, I can love a woman.
Okay. And what are some of the biggest challenges you faced when dealing with a woman? Did you ever have
I
challenges?
did actually. I've worked at a Coney, and I had the cook always say like, "Oh, you're a carpet muncher. You're a carpet muncher,"
Oh.
and I felt very offended by being called that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it was like I can't technically be offended because I do like women, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So with that being said, it was like it was offensive and I knew it was offensive, but I
Mm-hmm.
tried to ignore it, you
Okay.
know?
So did you respond to it at all, or you just didn't say anything, or you just ignored it?
Well, I didn't ignore it per se. I
Yeah.
definitely responded to it because that's not what I am. I don't
Mm-hmm.
I don't munch on carpet. Okay? So we're not gonna that's not who I am or what I am. But I get the concept. I felt like it was a jab,
Okay.
like a jab to try to get me to react in
Mm-hmm.
an offensive way. And then it became a thing to where it was like constantly kept trying to annoy me by calling me a carpet muncher or offend me by saying things.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really feel like that was appropriate in a
Mm-hmm.
work setting.
Mm-hmm.
But then it also informed me that, hey, I do like men and women. So maybe he's just doing that because he likes me, you know? And they
Mm-hmm.
used to say, like, when guys like you, they'll push you or do stuff like that as a
Mm-hmm.
kid. So maybe this was his way of trying to say that he liked me. So he
Mm-hmm.
wanted to try to offend me, even though it didn't really work.
Okay. Did you ever go to your boss about it? Did it get that serious where you had to report it or say anything?
I
Like, did he
never
go
really
overboard?
spoke. I never really spoke to my boss about it. I never
Mm-hmm.
felt like it was offensive that much because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, I am who I am.
Right.
And you can't change that, you know? So to me, it was offensive in the workplace, but at the same time, it was like it's not that serious for me to
Okay.
go to my boss.
Okay. And I heard you say you can't change that. So when you think about somebody being LGBTQ plus, you feel that what?
I personally feel that you love who you love. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
can love women, you can love men, whether you're bisexual, gay, straight and decide to try. I just feel like you're just opening yourself up more to love people.
Okay. That's awesome. What are some things that you think people often get wrong about supporting the LGBTQ plus community?
I feel as if when people support the LGBTQ community, they feel as if it makes them a part of the LGBTQ community
Mm-hmm.
and not just an ally
Mm-hmm.
or someone who supports same gender loving people.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't think that that's the case because you can accept us and love us and still be a part of us without actually being a part of us.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
when I say us because yes, I'm bisexual, but and that makes me a part of the LGBTQ community.
Mm-hmm. You the bee, honey, the bee beauty.
I am the
Being an
bee.
LGBT.
Yes, auntie, the bee's knees.
Yes. What advice would you give someone whose loved one just came out? Someone who's not an LGBTQ plus individual, someone who may not be an ally and don't understand it. What kind of advice would you give someone like that?
Be patient, be understanding, open your heart. It's more to it than the eye meets. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we're loving, we're caring. That means that no matter who it is in the world, we don't see color, we just see love.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very beautiful thing because most people can't see that. They look at color or race or, and they
Mm-hmm.
judge people based off that. But when you're in the LGBTQ community, your eyes are open to love and see many people.
So you feel like it being a part of the LGBTQ plus community gives you a different aspect of love. It's a part of loving people at a different level than just that surface level is what you feel.
Correct.
Hmm. When you first came out, did you find like yourself having any internal struggles with it before you started?
Honestly, no. And I think because I had a parent who was LGBTQ,
Hmm.
that it awoken something in me, to
Hmm.
understand that it's okay to love the same gender. I don't have to fear loving the same gender. You like
Hmm.
who you like. God didn't say, oh, just because you're a woman, you're gonna like a man, or just because you're a man, you're gonna like a woman.
Hmm.
It it made it easier on the process, honestly.
Okay. So I heard you mention God. And a lot of people, as you know, feel like, how can you mix God with LGBTQ? People that are church folk or Bible toters or, in the faith communities say that you're an abomination, you're going to hell. What would you say when it comes to God and the LGBTQ community?
God is loving, God is kind, God is understanding. And he wants you to treat others the way you want to be treated and love others the way you want to be loved. He knows our heart. We don't
Mhm.
have to technically be straight just to be loved by God. He loves us regardless.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And so, were you raised up under the Christian faith? Were you raised in the church? What makes you so assured with that? What gives you the confidence?
I did grow up in an LGBTQ church, and I think that could be also a part of it on top of having an LGBTQ parent and just being around everyone, and it didn't seem any different than a straight relationship. It was loving, you know
Okay.
I was just open. It was easier for me to open when you're in a situation like that. Then it's easier for you to understand and be able to relate to those people.
Okay. All right. Nice, nice. So, you are a mom. You are a child of an LGBTQ plus individual. You have a very open heart. What would you say to young individuals who are struggling with their sexuality? What would you say to them?
I would honestly tell them to be open about it, to be
Mhm.
open and come out to whoever it is that you feel as if you need to come out to, because if
Yeah.
they're going to love you, they're going to love you regardless. If they're going to feel some type of way, they're going to feel some type of way regardless. And
Hmm.
whether it's now, later down the line, you have to just come out, be open, and be you, and unapologetically you. Just be you, baby.
That part. In case nobody knows, Jourdin Beauty is actually my daughter. And as you can see, she's bisexual. My oldest girl is also a lesbian, but my son, who's the baby boy, is straight. And he was always raised with a mom that's in the LGBTQ plus community. I can't get him to interview. I wish I could, but he's just an introvert, so that ain't gonna work. But at the same time, as you can see, the dynamic of being raised by an LGBTQ plus individual doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be full-fledged lesbian, right? You can
Correct.
be. You can be bisexual like you are. You can be asexual. You can be trisexual,
Sexual.
pansexual, or you can truly be cisgender, right? You can be a straight person. I know that my son is very supportive and he was very selective with his partner because he wanted to make sure that the person that he was with was going to be able to love and accept me as his parent, and he didn't want to have to deal with any discrimination. You guys were raised in the church, so I was your deacon, I was your youth pastor, so you've been raised to love people unconditionally, regardless to who they are. And I
That's
know, Beauty, that even being in your relationship, when I speak of the relationship you were in when you were in high school, you dealt with a young lady who didn't have it the same way you had it when it came to being bisexual. You
yeah.
actually were a partner to someone whose family was not very supportive of them being in the LGBT community. Can you talk about that a little bit? Like, what was it like being around their family, being with her, and the way that they treated her?
To be honest, they loved me and they loved my daughter. Loved us. They just did not like that for her. So they were always kind and nice and caring to me and my child. And I couldn't ask for more. Like, I appreciated the fact that even though they did not like the fact that their daughter was in the LGBTQ community, they still gave me my respect. They still respected my child. They actually treated my child as one of their grandchildren and loved them and went out and brought tons of toys and stuff when we first went over there. They took my baby, wouldn't give her back. Oh, it was different. I understood though that they didn't like the fact that she was in the LGBTQ community, but their feelings had nothing to do with me. So I technically couldn't feel any type of way
With
because
the
they
yeah.
they treated me with love. They treated me with respect. I was always
Mhm.
welcome to come around. It was just her that they had an issue with.
Yeah. And I find that so, I don't know, strange or maybe confusing for me,
Yeah.
because you can love the person that your child is with and respect them, but you couldn't do that same thing for your own child. Like, I know that partner that you had went through a lot with
I
her parents, a lot. I know
yeah,
that she's still LGBTQ plus now,
correct.
but she was in high school at the time. She lived with us for a moment because she went through a lot. Her family, and I find that so weird. You can love someone else who is not your blood, not your flesh and blood, but you had a problem with, and I'm not gonna say love. I'm not gonna say they didn't love her, but I'm gonna say you could respect someone and be kind to someone who is not your flesh and blood, but they were not kind to her.
No.
They were not kind to her. They were not kind to her at all. And that was both parents. You know what I'm saying? To the point where, we were there to help her through graduation, through prom, because they just would not accept it. Now, what I have noticed, because I know that over the years I've kind of watched her, and we've still been close, is she's still LGBTQ plus. She's now married. And I
Mhm.
wish I could actually get her to come on and talk about her story, because where is she at now compared to where she was then? And where's her family, with her?
Correct.
I know that her siblings loved you. Her
Mm,
mom and dad loved you. Her grandmother loved you, but they
yeah.
were so rough on her. Her siblings weren't rough on her, but her parents were definitely
Rough.
not. Oh my God. Oh my
I
God. They,
also have a sibling who was in the LGBTQ community. So that sibling, it was definitely easy to, understand where she came from. But there are other siblings, they loved her regardless because she was her. And who she
Mhm,
decided to date didn't make a difference to them.
mhm. My goodness. And that's the thing, it's so sticky, and it can be, right? What
Right.
was that moment that you received your confirmation that who you are and what you do was okay?
For me, I would personally have to say I knew off rip that what I was doing was okay because I had a parent who did the same thing. So to me, like, it's okay. She's not gonna be like, oh, you like women, because it's like, yo, you like women. So,
And so you never battled with it at all. He was like, "Oh, my mom gonna be okay because
yeah,
she like
be okay
women."
with it. It never phased me. And I think it was different for me though, because a lot of people back in the day when, like, back in my day, let me say,
Hmm.
they were so scared to come out to their parents because they didn't know how their parents would feel. When I was able to just say, hey mom, I like girls, it was very easy. The
Okay.
whole situation was easy.
And would you say that, looking back, is there anything that you wish you may have done differently?
No, I am only human. We are all only human. You live your life how you live your life. And once again, you have to be unapologetically you.
What message would you hope our listeners would take away from your story today?
I hope that the listeners can understand that love is love. And you have to be able to love people regardless to their sexuality and be open and kind hearted. So why not love someone else who loves another person, whether it's the same gender or not? It's all love.
Mm-hmm. That was a good one. So, what does being yourself mean to you?
To me, it means that I can love who I love. I can do what I do. I can be who I am. I might be loud. I might be outspoken. I might be kind. I might be generous. But at the end of the day, I'm me. And no one
Mhm.
can take that away from me. You have to be
Mhm.
happy who you are, or you'll just be living life miserable, really.
I say it all the time. If you don't take
Right?
care of you, how you gonna take care of somebody else? If you can't love yourself, how you gonna love somebody else? It all starts with you. And so, yes, I commend you for that. You can't give somebody something you don't have within you. You know what I'm
Very.
saying? So, what would you say you do to uphold the love that you have for yourself, the love that you have for others, the love that you have for what you do? What do you do to uphold that love?
Just be honest and open and willing to receive what others are willing to give you. There are people out here that are willing to love you for being you.
Hmm.
And if you can love me for being me, I can love you for being you. And so you just do the best that you can, because no one gave us a handbook and say, hey, this is how life is going to go. You
Hmm.
don't know. You just live life day by day.
And what do you do to uphold the love that you have for yourself?
I am a pretty girl. So I wear different colors, do my lashes, stay fly and pretty. Y'all see me. I like to see myself a certain way, and so it's not like I can't be natural. I just
Mhm.
like to see myself the way that for me.
That's awesome. Is there anything that we didn't cover that you would like to share today?
Honestly, no. I don't feel as if we didn't cover anything that I wasn't expecting. Um, I'm glad the conversation didn't get too deep.
Didn't get deep.
Or- yeah, there are things that could have been said that I'm glad are in the past and left in the past.
Mhm.
Um, it's hard. It's hard. It really is hard.
So tell me this, and this may take it a little deeper because you are a child of an LGBTQ plus individual. What was it like for
Right.
you with your parents' partners?
It was very, very, very hard. Some of the partners didn't do right. And as a kid, it still made me want to intervene. And some people were not opening or accepting
Mhm.
to her children. And so we would have problems where they would treat their children better. They would pretty much be okay if her children weren't around. Um it was like always getting the end of the stick, being a black sheep pretty much.
Mm.
And after for so long, you're just, it's like, okay, this is pretty much something that I'm used to dealing with.
So, do you think it would be the same way if your parent was dealing with, if I were dealing with a male versus dealing with a female? Do you think that it would be any different? Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that it was a female versus a male?
No, not at all. Honestly, I don't. Because there are men in the world who don't really care for people, children, just
Mhm.
the same as women. So I don't feel like it would have been any different. Some people mean well by your children, and some people just don't. It doesn't matter the gender.
Okay. And do you find, because as a child of an LGBTQ plus member, you also had the experiences of being with a parent prior to them coming out and, as LGBTQ plus. You had a parent who was first married to a male, and
Mhm.
then it switched up, and you were very young when it switched up, and then she was ended up being with a female. So in those two different relationships, do you find that there was any difference in, the
Yeah,
heterosexual relationship she had versus the same gender loving relationship?
it was difficult both ways, honestly. And you just have to live it and experience it. I can't say which one was better, honestly.
It doesn't
It-
matter what the relationship was. It was a relationship. And
Correct.
whether your parent was with a male or with a female, it still was, it wasn't all peaches and creams on either side of the fence.
No, both sides of the fence completely.
When it came to your parent, do you feel that there was a difference for your parent? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like with your parent dealing with a marriage to a man versus your parent dealing with, and that's me. We all know it's me because I introduced you as my daughter. But
Honestly,
did you find
the clothes she wore, the clothes she wore. That's the only thing I honestly say
that's the
is
only difference?
she wore, because she was still loving, she was still kind, she still cooked for us every day. Like, there was nothing I couldn't run to my mom for help for, whether she was with a man or a female. She still did my hair. She was there, whether it was male or female. So I just got a great end of the stick. I got a great parent.
Nice. Aw, thank you, love. All right. So, can you tell me anything else that someone in a similar situation right now, what would you say to someone who's in a similar situation that, you went through or that they may be in right now with their parents' relationship or with their life themselves? What would you say to that person?
Be open, be open. I cannot stress more than to say to be open and patient and kind, because it's not technically an easy situation, but it is at the same time. It's what you make of it. And it can be a
Mm-hmm.
great it can be a great thing. It doesn't always have to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes your parent can get with one gender and it can be better. Everyone's
Yes.
situation and story will be different, and some might be the same.
Mm-hmm. Just never know, right?
Ever know.
All right. Miss Beauty, we're going to have you back on at another time as well because we know that you were a very wonderful actress in Affirming Love stage play. Yes. And so we're going to talk to you about being a part of the Affirming Love stage play as well at another time. We'll have you back on, and thank you so much. Tell us where people can follow your work or learn more about you.
You can follow me at J Monet on Facebook. That's JayMonae.
J Monet on Facebook. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ms. Jourdin, for joining us today on Affirming Love Podcast. It has been such a pleasure speaking with you. Hey, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to our Affirming Love Podcast. Thank you so much. Make sure that you comment and let us know. Give us some feedback on what you think. Thank you so much for joining us today and tuning in. And you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. All right, everyone, that concludes our episode for today. We hope you enjoyed it. Tune in with us weekly on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Remember to follow, share, and subscribe. And again, thank you for tuning in to Affirming Love Podcast.